Yes,
Thank you so
Muskan.
much. Thank you so much, Sanju. Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for coming for this informational session. So today, we are very glad to be holding an information session on a very interesting challenge that is called Youth Collab National Innovation Challenge 2026, which is co-led by UNDP and City Foundation. This opportunity will allow young people with innovative ideas who have an agenda of bringing leadership of social innovation and entrepreneurship for them to be able to use this opportunity as a starting ground and really focus on how responsible consumption kind of takes place at large. So with that, we have Sanjita and Petamehi today with us, and they will be taking us through what the challenge is about, how you can participate in the challenge, what are the different things that you have to remember, and what are the different questions that you have regarding the challenge. And please feel free when we open the stage, feel free to ask your questions in English or Hindi, and we'll be happy to, the team will be happy to address that as well. And with that, I will hand it over to Beth, who will introduce herself and take forward the conversation.
Thank you so much, Muskan. I really appreciate this opportunity to, be here and speak with the Bring Back Green Foundation community, across NYCC and the other, larger climate community as well. First of all, thanks a lot to you, Muskan, Sanju, and of course, Akhilesh and the whole team. I came across NYCC and the amazing stories and the work that's being done out there by all the cohort members. Recently, a couple of weeks ago at the graduation, and was just really impressed by everything. So, I'm really happy to be here to share this opportunity because I think it could be really relevant to some of you. So, before we start, I'll just do a quick introduction. My name is Beth. I'm a project analyst at UNDP, and I handle our youth empowerment work under the Sustainable, Inclusive, and Growth Unit. Under this unit, we work on women's economic empowerment, on youth empowerment, on agri insurance, business and human rights, and various other development issues. And within youth empowerment, entrepreneurship and innovation is a major focus for us. And under that, we have this program called Youth Collab. So before I, get into a quick presentation of what it's all about, how you can apply, little bit about the ins and outs of this program. I will just share a video, just a quick 1 minute video that gives you like a sneak peek into what we're going to talk about. I can share my screen and share the video directly, or I can ask Sanju to share it. So Sanju, just let me know what would you prefer.
Um, Sorry, we have not been able to load it on our device, so it'll be great if you're able to share it as well.
Cool, cool. I'll do it at my end then. Um, Sorry if there are any technical sort of glitches here, but I think we should be good. Thanks so much. So that was a quick glimpse into like what this program is all about. As you can see, the themes this year are related to responsible consumption. I'm just going to share my screen so that we can deep dive into it, understand more about this process, the application process, what this program is all about, and from there, we can sort of move ahead. So, Youth Collab, this is actually a flagship youth entrepreneurship and innovation program that is run by UNDP India. This year, our theme is responsible consumption, and it is aligned with the Government of India's Mission Life. Apart from that, the impact really is to accelerate youth entrepreneurship and sustainability and inclusive innovation. Um, just to provide some context, this is actually not the first time that we are running Youth Collab. It is, in fact, the eighth edition in India. And it is a program that was created in 2017 with City Foundation. UNDP and City Foundation came together, created this program to establish a larger common agenda for countries in Asia Pacific region. And that includes 28 countries which are actually running this program. Under this program, there is Youth Collab. Many different activities go on at the national level. These could include dialogues, workshops, webinars, discussions, and also long term incubation programs, short term incubation programs, and challenges like the one that we have right now. This National Innovation Challenge is one of the national activities under the broader program, which is run in 28 countries. So, the reason why I'm also sharing this context is because when you become part of Youth Collab, you are part of a larger community, not just the one at a national level, which is held by us at UNDP India, but also at an international or regional level across 28 countries, a broader community. You get access to a lot of regional opportunities as well. This year, our thematic focus areas are related to responsible consumption. Sanjita is here from our T Hub, which is our implementation partner this year. T Hub is the one of the largest incubation centers in the world, and they are helping us run the challenge this year on these particular themes. So, deep dive into the sub themes under responsible consumption. This challenge is really relevant for you if you are innovating in sustainable textiles and fashion, which includes things like low impact fibers, dyeing processes, designing for longevity, slow fashion, circular fashion solutions, and so on. This is also relevant if you are working on circular economy innovations, which includes reducing waste across sectors, innovative waste management, materials reuse, products as a service, and remanufacturing. And then finally, sustainable food systems and water conservation, which is again very critical issue. So if you're innovating across agriculture, food supply chains, water saving technologies, resource efficient production, and waste reduction in agriculture, these are the kind of things that we really want to highlight. We want to highlight innovators, young innovators specifically, who are innovating across these themes. I do also want to put this out there that we are not limited to these examples that I've included just now or shared just now with you. If you are innovating in sustainable textiles or in sustainable food systems, and you have something that's beyond these examples, also we would welcome your application. We would welcome to see your ideas, and from there sort of like try to source the most innovative ones for the challenge. um, who are the people that we want to be part of this challenge? So we are looking at startups, NGOs, not-for-profits, social enterprises that are youth-led. Ideally speaking, we would like to see your organization as a registered organization. However, understanding that sometimes startups, enterprises, young entrepreneurs may have started out with an idea, with a prototype, but might not have already registered. We are okay with you applying at this stage, even if it's not registered, because if your idea is strong enough, we could still shortlist you into the cohort. The only thing would be by the end of the cohort, you would have to get registered by then, though. And this is, you're going to see the timeline of the cohort as well, how long it will be, and so on. The reason why we are also mentioning this right at the outset is because there is a grant element at the end of this cohort. So we would be able to provide grants only to enterprises or registered startups, NGOs, and so on. Second eligibility criteria is solutions aligned with the themes. So I already spoke about those thematic areas, the broader one being responsible consumption. We are looking at founders who are between the ages of 15 to 29 years. Of course, we are also providing an age extension up to 35 years for women, persons with disabilities, LGBTQIA plus individuals, ST, SC, PVTGs, and OBC youth. The idea here is really because the focus of this program is inclusion, and the focus of UNDP's work is on leaving no one behind. And we understand that oftentimes a lot of incubator programs, accelerator programs that support entrepreneurs in India oftentimes leave out early stage entrepreneurs, they leave out young entrepreneurs, and they might be leaving out entrepreneurs in the far off regions, in remote regions, or in frontier regions of the country. Given the same, we have specialized, sort of like age criteria with an extension for these groups. And I also want to indicate that we do bring in a lot of those sort of criteria even in later stages of evaluation to ensure that our cohorts are extremely diverse and also inclusive. So what's the program at a glance? You can see here application deadline is 3rd March. Cross that out because we actually have extended the application deadline to the 20th of March. And this program is now going to run from the end of March till May. That program is going to be the Springboard program, which is a 3-month virtual incubation program that is going to being designed to strengthen business fundamentals and scale readiness, as well as helping you with certain expert sessions, mentorship opportunities, peer learning opportunities that will help you align to the thematic area that you apply under. So for this, we are going to shortlist the top 50. And I have to say, this is a competitive process, which is why the application will be a little comprehensive. We expect more than 250 to 300 applications, out of which we then take the top 50 into this 3-month incubation program. At the end of this capacity building journey, towards the end of May or June, we would be having a virtual event called the National Innovation Dialogue. And this will feature panel discussions, workshops, interactive sessions. But most importantly, for cohort members, it will be your first opportunity to pitch. You will actually be able to use a lot of the skills you would have picked up in this 3-month journey and pitch to an independent jury. And that jury panel will help us shortlist the top 20 startups. So as you can see, it's a journey from, let's say, 200, 300 to 50, 50 to 20, and the top 20 actually get to go on to the next stage, which is the 5-day regional immersion program at T-Hub in Hyderabad. So T-Hub's campus is just one of the most amazing, impressive innovation campuses where you really get immersed into this environment where there is a lot of fast-paced growth, there is a lot of innovation, a lot of technology, and that's where we are going to hold this 5-day immersion program. As part of the immersion program, you will go through capacity building, networking, mentorship opportunities, a lot of exposure to investors, to mentors, to experts in various fields, and so on. And finally, this culminates into a finale where there will be live pitching sessions again to another independent jury. And we are awarding grants up to 3.5 lakh rupees to the top 6 startups. So 3 startups will get 3.5 lakh rupees and 3 startups will get 2.2 lakh rupees. So there is also a seed grant opportunity at the end, apart from the fully funded regional immersion program as well. So, what's in it for you? We already spoke about it. You get to refine your product market fit, embed responsible consumption and mission life into your product and your program. You really be able to build for impact. We have seen with a lot of our startups who have gone through Youth Collab in the past many years, many times they come in at a very early stage. And after going through Youth Collab, you are recognized or get some initial product validation, initial sort of credibility to then get into the market to raise more funding, to create better prototypes, to actually commercialize and so on. The regional immersion, the boot camp, the springboard programs, these are opportunities where you get to be part of a broader community within your cohort, as well as you get connected to really important mentors who may be there for you during the program, but even after. And this will focus on really the business side of things, on building your enterprise. So, scaling strategies, impact measurement, investment readiness, market access, and so on. Of course, there's the grant support. We understand that these are small grants, but oftentimes when you're early stage, it's just that beginning or the catalytic grant which will help you sort of raise more money after. And then finally, of course, national visibility, access to T Hub's innovation ecosystem, and opportunities for continued engagement with mentors, investors, corporates, and policy stakeholders. Uh, this is the link over here. We will also share it on the chat box below. I'm really excited to see a lot of applications come in. The reason why we wanted to have this particular information session is to share a little bit more about how you can apply. So you can go to the AIM website. Over there, you will find the Youth Collab page, and over there is a call for application button which you can then use and get directly into the form. So I'm just going to quickly share screen as well to show where you can apply, and that will help you sort of navigate the website as well. As you can see here, this is the AIM microsite. Under strategic collaborations, you can go to Youth Collab, and then there you will find this particular website, which is Youth Collab National Innovation 2026. Then here you apply, you will go into this form, and on this form, we would request you to then add in all your answers, all your details, including your pitch deck. If you have one, we would encourage that you definitely do that. That will increase your chances towards getting into the program. Now, what we will do is we will open for Q&A. So I understand that since we are on a live stream, some of those questions perhaps may come on the live stream itself. So I'll hand it over to Muskan first, and then we can open it up for Sanjita and I.
Thank you so much, Beth, for wonderfully explaining about the initiative. So we are now open for questions, and I believe that there are some questions that some of the champions and some of the community members do have. I would request that all of you please use the chat box to ask your question so that we can answer them, the team can answer them as well. Um, okay. So one question that we have received is that whether there are any market linkages that will be provided after or while the program will be running, because one of the major challenges that young people face quite often is establishing those market linkages after the products have been made or the innovations have been done.
Yeah. Thanks, Muskan. So I'll take an attempt at this and then I'll hand over to Sanjita as well. So the program is designed more as a capacity building program. So there aren't any direct market access or market linkage sort of components within the program. However, because we are going to talk about marketing, we are going to talk about building your program for the market. Um, we're going to help sort of build the enterprise to be ready for those market linkages. Alongside that, we will be providing networking opportunities, especially in the boot camp and so on, where these startups will get connected to the right kind of ecosystem players who can help them then onward, create those market access linkages. So it is really a program where we want to build founder capacity, young founders capacity to be able to then go for those market opportunities. But from the T Hub perspective, Sanjita, if you want to add anything.
I think, but thank you for the answer. I think you covered most of it. Yes, we do have sessions that'll, help the founders navigate the market. And we also have one-on-one mentoring sessions that the participants can avail. We have experts who have been in sales for 30 years, who have been in GTM for 30 years, and such experts can guide you in the right way to approach market access connects. Sometimes, if you're lucky and if you make a good connect through the networking sessions or through our mentor connects, then you get opportunities to connect with more people and so on. That kind of the network tree goes on. So that's what we saw in our past programs, and I think that's how we will be able to give you some sort of access to the market.
Right. Thank you so much, Sanjita and Beth. I hope that question was answered. Another question is there a fee to register for this opportunity?
No, no fee at all. It's a completely, free program. But of course, it is a competitive program. So, because of that, not everybody who registers will be able to be part of the cohort. So, would recommend that you make your applications as competitive as possible. Try to answer the questions to the best of your abilities. I would also just provide like a sort of unsolicited advice to the young people who are going to be filling in the applications. Many of these applications questions are going to be about what your product is all about, why do you want to be part of this program, how are you aligned to the themes, and so on. Would encourage you to really think about how it is aligned and write honestly about it rather than retrofitting the theme towards the product. So we want to see like really genuine answers, and it's sometimes hard to evaluate, given that we have sort of like this flood of information, a lot of AI based answers and things like that. So it encourages young founders to write short, succinct, but very pointed answers to their questions to really stand out. Of course, with that, we do want to say there is going to be an independent jury at every stage of this evaluation, and at least 4 to 5 jury panel, jury members on each of the panels. So this is a very unbiased sort of selection process that is going to take place.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Beth. The next question is is this specific to product-based solution or service-based solution is also welcome?
Yeah, service-based solutions also welcome.
Okay, maybe if you could give an example of what kinds are welcome.
I'll just give you an example from last year's cohort. So last year's cohort was on disability inclusion. So we had certain products that were like hard products, like let's say an innovative wheelchair or other kinds of assistive technology devices. We also had software products that made, let's say, inclusion easier or better for persons with disabilities. But then we also had solutions that were more so services, for example, sign language interpretation, sort of provided through AI and things like that. So it's not necessary that your product has to be a physical product or a digital product. We are open. The only thing is that it needs to demonstrate some sort of innovation. It needs to demonstrate like alignment to the theme and also like something that is innovative there. Sanjita, would you like to add?
Yeah, again, I think you covered most part of it. We are welcome to any solution that fits the focus area. If you're doing something innovative, if you're building something, no matter it's a startup, NGO, an MSME, you're welcome to apply. There's no category I mean, there's no distinction between product-based or service-based. As long as you're doing good, you're welcome.
Perfect. Thank you, Sanjita and Beth. Okay, so the next question is the application form asks for a website link compulsorily. What should be done if it doesn't exist?
So I think Beth, I'll just answer this. What you can do is just drop your personal LinkedIn account or any Facebook page, anything that a link that or any material that can guide us or support your application. Let's say nothing is available at all, then you can just drop a dummy link. We'll do that during screening. We'll take care of it.
Perfect. Okay. Hope that answers your question. The next question is there's an individual who wants to connect with the team. If they need any help with with the application. So is there any way they can reach out for any questions they have?
Yeah, so if you go on the website, you'll find the email for Zarina. She's another team member from T Hub as well. I'll just drop her email on the live chat as well. So yeah, team members can write to Zarina and like we can connect accordingly from there.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the next question is, and I think it's one of the last questions. What type of startups should it be? I mean, is there a qualifying kind of criteria for the startups to be considered?
Yeah, so the only qualifying criteria really that they should be youth led, and when we say youth led, we mean at least one of the founders. Sometimes there may be multiple founders, so it's not necessary that all founders are under the age of 30 or 35 if you're applying under the age extension, but at least one of the founders should be a young person. So the age criteria is there, and of course the thematic relevance. So you should be innovating in that particular theme.
Perfect. We got a few more questions. I'm just gonna mention them as well. So the first one is agri-tech service startups are allowed or not for the program? And there are three questions actually. The first question is it allowed for a program?
Yeah, definitely. There's an entire like the one of the thematic areas is sustainable food. So food systems that includes like agriculture, supply chains, and so on. Of course, there needs to be some relevance to like it, like how is that agriculture tech like sustainable, either socially or environmentally.
Okay. The follow-up question and then is, will they get a resource person or a mentor from the same field to support the startup during the program?
I'll hand over to Sanjita for this one.
Hi. For the group sessions, we have some mentors who do work in this field. And then again, like I said, one-on-one mentor sessions are completely voluntary and are on need basis for the startup. And suppose the startup asks for a mentor, a recurring session with a mentor in agri-tech, we can do that for them. No worries at all. We have good mentors in agri-tech.
Exactly. So some of the experts who are coming in for the group sessions, they may be generalists or they may be from other sectors, but definitely a lot of scope in the one-on-one mentorship.
Even within, to add on to that, even within agritech, there are specific areas if you need help with, we can find that kind of connection as well. Let's say within agritech itself, you need someone to help you with the technical side of the product and you need advice on that, we can find someone who's suitable for that. Or if someone who you just want to connect with to talk about sales strategy, we can do that. So it really it is very tailored to these startups that are part of the cohort, and we want to give that personalized experience as well.
Okay. The third part of the question is, if only 6 startups receive the grant, what will the remaining startups receive, and what kind of resources will they benefit from?
Right. So, as I was saying, any of the top 50 startups, as long as you're part of the cohort, you become part of this broader community, right? So, the first thing that you receive is the mentorship, capacity building opportunities through the program itself, which runs for 3 months. That is the Springboard program. Apart from that, after graduating from the program, you get a certificate of completion as well as you get attached to this community as a YCL alumni. And as YCL alumni, we at UNDP continue to share a lot of opportunities directly to our alumni community. So there are other funding opportunities, there are other challenges that are happening at a regional and global level that you can continue to apply for. We sometimes have opportunities for policy advocacy, engaging in very prestigious events and things like that. Of course, this is very much dependent on the relevance on the thematic area and the opportunities that are coming up. So it's not a very structured thing, but I can say that I can assure you with some confidence there's definitely an engagement that happens post program completion. Apart from that, of course, the top 20, the ones who don't get who get into the regional immersion program but who do not get the grant that would be the others other than the 6. So those startups do get that 1 week fully funded sort of experience in Hyderabad, which is an in-person experience engaging with really the experts, ecosystem stakeholders, really the most important ones in India's startup ecosystem, and can be a way to open doors, especially for early stage entrepreneurs. So this is sort of like the way that the program is designed, in that there is a holistic offering for all, but then a few would progress to step 2, and then a few would progress to step 3, which is the grant opportunity as well. I do also want to mention here, because I missed mentioning it in my presentation actually, the top 6 who receive the grants of 3.5 lakhs and 2.2 lakhs also get an additional opportunity to pitch for another grant with CVC Foundation, and that grant would be for about 10 lakh rupees. So 2 out of the 6 will further on get a top-up grant of about 10 lakh rupees.
Thank you so much, Beth. I think now we are at the last question. So Shibani is asking, if someone already has a working model or pilot project running in the community, can they still apply for scaling it through this program, or some new idea should come out?
To answer that question, yes, you can apply for that program. We are accepting applications of all stages, so it doesn't have to be an ideation level for sure. We just said that ideation is also welcome, but if you have a working model and an MVP, that's absolutely fine. It's great.
All right, perfect. Okay, so I think we're at the end of the Q&A at this point. And if you have any further questions among the viewers, you can email them to us or email them to the team so that we can answer your questions. And thank you so much, Vithmehi and Sanjita, for taking our time today. It was a really, really wonderful discussion. And plus, I hope that we hope that the young people who have attended today are able to apply, and hopefully some of them also get selected. And with that, wishing good luck to everyone who's going to apply. And again, if you have any questions apart from the ones that you've asked, please feel free to email us, and we will take those questions forward, and will ensure that your doubts are addressed as well.
Sure. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Muskan and Sanju as well.